So Eli, it's been a few months since I've seen you back at Tormund Synth Reactor. I'll link the video we did there, played around, checked the setup out. I had a ton of questions when I said I'm going to come and see you out here and put the kind of announcement out that I was going to be in Portland. And people wanted to know what you've been up to. That was the first kind of like, where's he been?
Definitely, yeah. After the Synth Reactor, I definitely quieted down a bit. I had 2 weeks of tour after that and got back pretty exhausted and released my album like a month after that. So come the end of May, I was pretty wiped. Took a month break. Had a bunch of stuff happen in my personal life with some friends here and other stuff that I was like, I can't do anything. But I've been mostly just playing with modular stuff in a way that's more fun and less professional or less like trying to with a goal and just like sitting down and be like, I'm just gonna jam. Maybe it will sound terrible and I'll want to get rid of it immediately, but it's kind of, I don't get to do that as much.
No, especially after a tour and an album, you've kind of got to find yourself again.
Yeah, that's kind of, I was like, dang, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I feel super lost.
The only other option is to repeat yourself, but then you don't want to do that.
I started to get into, and I was like uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want to do this again. It feels bad. Like, I got to reconnect. So that's what I've been doing, just reconnecting, working on film stuff, paying back my debt from being on tour. But, we're getting there.
So what's kind of, while we're on the topic, what's coming throughout the year? Have you kind of found yourself musically for this next release or tour, or are you still playing around?
Yeah, I'm actually super excited. This is, I guess, this will be the first time I'm coming out and saying it to anybody but the people who are involved. But I'm getting together a new band that's centered around Andy stuff.
Right.
I'm getting a singer and a guitar player and a bass player.
Okay, wow.
And we're actually touring the west coast of America this fallish winter. Winter, it's in December.
So how did that come about? Was this just in your mind and you reached out to people, or?
It's been in my mind for a while, and it kind of just fell into place, where I was like, okay, this is working out. I was in Chicago. It was the last show I played on tour, and my best friend lives there. And we were just, for one of my shows there, I was like, do you want to sing? Like, why not try it? I'll get a simple drum beat. I've never done this before, but like, this show feels like we could, and I'm tired of playing the same thing. And he was like, yeah, I'll do it.
But your sound, what I'd say, I know you as and other people, there's room around existing, I'm not saying you're just repurposing it, but there's room around existing Anani sound and material. There's this whole kind of low-end beat thing could fit in there. I can see how it would work. It's not an immediate like, how's he going to get a singer on that?
No, right. It's that's why I was kind of like, I mean, I would be making my tracks and like, wow, I could, if I just went, instead of, is like you get to that fork, I'm like, I could go a little more structured or I could go a little more weird and ambient. And it's like, man, if I just made it a little more structured, I could so easily, or even not, I could so easily throw a singer on and like I used to be in a band for most of my musical career in life, so I'm used to that.
So how has the setup changed to facilitate that? Is your new setup the new you, like the next chapter, the next album, tour, or is it entirely focused around playing with others?
It's a mixture of both.
Okay.
It's the new me that I can still use my rack to do everything I used to do and more, and continue Annie without other people. But it's also, I integrated more live performance tools in it. I got rid of a bunch of utility modules and I threw an ER 301 in there.
So is that the most significant change, would you say?
ER 301, and I have a full drum rack in there now, which is nice. That's the main thing that's to integrate with other people, is having a drum rack that I can control live completely from my modular, which is kind of what we're building our set around. Basically, I'm going to do all the instrumentation and all the timing and all the changes, and then everyone else will kind of follow suit, which is why I added all these live performance tools. The ER 301 was kind of like, here's a great thing that I can, if I was to play like an hour-long, 2-hour-long set, I can load so many different things onto it and just switch through the presets.
I've certainly used, not with a band, but the Morphogene as like a stepping stone between patches.
Yeah.
You can kind of buy so much time.
Yeah, exactly.
That
was my thinking with keeping the Morphogene in there. I was thinking about switching it out and having clouds instead, but there's so many things you can do with like holding the space and then like switching everything, and then pulling it through.
And simply getting into like a vastly different loop. It's not like always going to like the big wash of reverb,
right,
and then the next song emerges, which is tried and tested trick forever.
Yeah.
The thing you wash into can be so vastly different every time it comes round.
Right, which is super cool. Yeah, because it allows to go from, with like one turn of a knob on the morphing, you can go from like very nice, peaceful, smooth stuff to like very choppy, very harsh, but off the same sound in the same loop, which is super cool.
How are you managing to kind of conduct everyone? Is it quite a loose, not necessarily improvised, but is it quite a loose arrangement? Or are you trying to get things really locked down in terms of structure and performance?
We're kind of doing both. Basically, it's kind of difficult because half of the band, me and one other person, are in Portland, and then the other half are in Chicago.
Okay.
And so we're using this thing that we found online that's like a remote Logic Pro file workspace.
Okay.
And everything has to be tempo locked in Logic so that I can send MIDI tempo to the modular. But my best friend and I, who's in the band, we were both in the punk and folk rock band before that. So we kind of already have a workflow. And like, I'm just like you, dude, if you have songs that you want to record, just like send them to me and I'll see what I can do. Like, it doesn't have to be super structured. I can add random reverb washed ambience that doesn't need tempo, to more like electronic-y, dancey stuff that's like, this is super structured. I'm sending you like an exact file of like I've marked off exactly where you're going to sing. When we do it live, you'll pretty much, it's going to be the exact same. There's no difference in it other than it's stressful for me because I got to press all the buttons.
Conductor,
Right.
Yeah, you've got to look after the band, you're the MD.
Yeah.
Where's best for people to find your stuff and these updates? Certainly for me, I want to know.
Yeah. I'll be posting stuff on Instagram. I'm going to use, for the new band, I'm still going to use my old Instagram. Definitely, I'm not dropping in any at all. Just kind of trying new things just because I can.
Well, that's what's interesting. Of course, if you said, I have a new project, that'd be interesting too.
Right.
But how this morphs into other things.
Right. It's right. It's more like, okay, I have a good base here. Why not see what happens, you know? Yeah, Instagram is the best way.
Cool.
For sure.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.